Hey Kipsters, it's Mr. Carroll again. As I said before, I'm going to show you how to snake your plumbing lines. And what that is I'm going to be using a plumbing snake, and I'll show you what that looks like in a second. But basically what that does is a plumbing snake helps you unclog any of your plumbing lines that may be clogged due to food or anything else that might build up over time. Instead of calling a plumbing company to come out and snake it, which costs anywhere from $200 to $500, depending on the type of task involved. This is something that you can purchase at one of your local hardware stores for about 50 bucks, 50 to 150 bucks, depending on the length and style of your snake. Again, I'll show you what that looks like. And then also, you don't have any of the labor costs associated with this plumbing technique. So the first thing I want to do is, I'm not going to really explain on all of the parts of the plumbing today for sake of time, but this is what my plumbing looks like under my main sink. It probably looks pretty similar. You'll probably see some similarities if you look under your own sink. First thing you want to do is just clean out all the cleaning supplies. That way there's nothing that's going to get wet possibly or get in the way. The second thing you want to do is you want to get some sort of bucket. Now my plumbing is a little low, so I went with like a kitchen bucket that I use for some stuff like this. What you're going to do is you're going to look for this U-shaped part of your plumbing underneath your sink. This is a pretty important part of the plumbing system and how the sink drains. And what you're going to simply do is put that bucket right underneath there in case any water falls out. So the first thing you want to do is you're going to loosen the plumbing. And sometimes you can do this with a wrench. I do it with my hand. I don't keep my plumbing too tight. As you can see, the water's starting to come out. That's normal. You can use a wrench if you want, but typically you're not going to have a very tight seal, just so that you can move it around as much as you need. So the first thing you're going to do is you're just going to disconnect using the threads, and like some water is going to come out, and then you're going to be very gentle with it. You're just going to move this to the side. It's okay if water comes out of it. It's perfectly normal. As you can see, there's still some soap suds from the previous video. But yeah, that's what you're going to do. What this does is it opens up this entire plumbing line to the main. Okay. Now I'm going to show you what a snake looks like, and I'm not going to shove the snake all the way down there, but I'm going to show you what a snake is and the process by which you would unclog something if you needed it. So let me grab my snake really quickly. Now I decided to go old school today with it. I have a different snake, but I was feeling a little nostalgic, and I broke out my my grandpa's snake from back in the day. These look quite different these days. Usually they have some sort of coil system that keeps this snake all nice and wrapped up. They usually have some sort of like electronic or manual crank. Makes it real easy to use, but back in the day, pretty much what it was just a simple long metal coil attached to some sort of handle. So yeah, I'm gonna attempt to do it with this snake today because I'm feeling nostalgic. So the snakes look a lot different, so don't go looking for something like this. This is an old school one. And simply all I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this end and I'm just going to shove it into the hole of the plumbing line that I just opened up, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run this snake down my lines, and you got to play with it. Just like everything else, you got to play with it. It's okay if it gets stuck, you can always play with it around, but you're just going to shove this all the way up through the plumbing, and you're going to keep shoving it until you're able to get the entire length of this snake shoved down into your pipe. Now the beauty of it is if you have a longer snake, you can go longer into your plumbing, so you can clog as much of it out as possible. If you ever had a plumbing company come out and snake your drain, they come with those huge, big, long snakes. Sometimes they're anywhere from 50 to 200 feet, depending on where the clog is in the drain. For this project, though, you're really only going to be able to get as far as your snake allows. So this is something that if you have a little quick clog drain somewhere, close to the sink, This is something that you can do on your own. If you have a clogged main line, or if you have a clogged sewer line or something like that, that's when you may need a better tool, a better snake, or possibly even calling a plumber to come out. But if you have some sort of snake like this, this length of a snake would cost probably something like 60 to 70 bucks, $60 $70, I mean, at like a hardware store. But there's all kinds of different types of snakes out there. So just experiment and try it, and then when you're done, you'll notice that it's pretty easy to pull it out. Now, if my drain were clogged, this is just soap. If my drain was clogged, what this little end coil does is there's always some sort of like teeth or coil at the end of a snake, and what it does is it kind of grabs on to whatever is clogging the drain, and you can actually pull it out. Sometimes if, I've seen houses where hair had been shoved down in the drain over time. There had been, some food particles stuck over time. Whatever the thing that is stuck, sometimes it grabs onto the end of the coil, and you can pull some of it out. Another thing that it does is sometimes snakes have like a head to where it pushes whatever's clogged down further into the drain, and it's just simply trying to break up whatever's clogged and whatever's stuck. So I hope you learned something. If you have any questions about some other plumbing tips or anything, just let me know. All right, bye.